I met you, it's so much fun. Bike ride, just throws it around side to side and handles his bike and his body position. And as a aspiring, if there's any aspiring racer, learn a lot by watching PD footage. It's probably about 2 minutes before the sun went down. Into Morocco. This was there was some live music that we recorded right in the whole city of Ramadan. So a lot of people around, more so during Ramadan, and made people telling stories, and we were fresh off culture shock. It was so awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good having Chris hook us up there from Morocco's a pretty crazy place to travel. Owns that it's so that it'd be really hard to find you what we do and source out
locations in mind before we went, and about a rough itinerary. And there was 2 main zones. This was the 2 which provided most of our fun. Just unreal dirt to work with, perfect for shaders and some trannies.
We had a pretty for this, and that red dirt it done it very hard, and I think that rain able to work with the land, which
yeah, made a huge difference.
Thomas was looking for a jump like that though, and he just absolutely threw down on that whip. He does total motor.
Yeah, all the boys are pretty rocking food we ate.
Mild sickness.
Yeah.
Though, such a cool country to visit. Sent it off this first and had a super tech run, and
with wind pretty hard. 15-second window that they could drop in, and they were just 15 minutes at a time, and like that first time
in the middle. And
we had to come back to that air twice because of wind.
But pretty early on in the trip, he caught his ankle on an air, and really unfortunate, but died for the pretty much the vast majority. This is an example of a little of nowhere in these steep canyons, and there's just trails going into them that have been created king or whatever. Really cool. Are doing trips in America, Switzerland. They do bring something new to the table and give out as far as incorporating a little bit of a free ride, and if you get well worth it. Nice to just make in the movie and have those guys take care. That was a debate as to whether Tom would tweak that air with the helmet cam on.
Into the BC interior segment. Here, British Columbia is pretty big, wide open. We love traveling there, and we brought Golly up there this year, and it's just a vibe with those guys and their budget. It really is. We just kind of ended up actually probably doing here to film this segment.
I think this was the first one we attempted.
4-day mission to pull off this shot.
We tried this out.
Kamloops Bike Camp, they got a new way out lodge near Chase, and been on some trails there. This is one of the trails. There's a there, and
run them back and forth, which saved our arm.
Yeah, the curse of the cable.
It's just a nice styly air by Jordy.
And of course this gnarly shot of this is off.
He bounced back. This is some footage from Alex. The reason it's in here is because after he won this, Steve hooked up for our Sun Valley.
Jonathan Schramm, who's almost all of the shoots this year, and it's 6 shots and lots of responsible for a lot of the building of most of the.
The idea for the Sun Valley segment to really convey back in a few of us and kind of hit, and just the trails there are just down and super buff, just perfect single track ride. Putting 2 of the fastest guys segment.
Buff trails I've ever. As filmers, we were lucky to be able to ride
on the trips, and this one we actually go a couple shuttles, a little bit of climbing, but yeah, it was Petey and Chandra were, and it was fun for them together and ride single track.
We attempted it, ended up working pretty heavy gravel road, and we had a few S turns that we could paint it on. Ended up.
It's a new angle that we tried with mounting up to. We weren't really sure how that if that angle did work. We rolled a few hundred feet of film and 12-second shot there.
Well, I saw on the trail there, and it's kind of the
on a road bike.
Is, yeah, he was.
I didn't see that guy. I'd ridden here actually. It's just my memory of riding. Much fun. Throws it around side to side and super his body position and aspiring. If there's any aspiring racers out there, you can watch PD footage. Two minutes before the sun went down there, which always. So this was a little scene that some live music that we recorded right in the square, the main square. The whole city is just so. A lot of people are out. A lot of people are Ramadan and making food, stories, and we were fresh off the plane from. So awesome.
Most exotic places on the planet.
Yeah, it was pretty good having hook us up there from a pretty crazy place to travel, and it's so really hard to find your way around on your view and source out terrain to.
Chris had some mind before we went, and we kind of itinerary and roughly there was two main zones. This provided most of our footage and dirt to work with, perfect for shaping and ease.
We had a pretty heavy storm, and that red dirt it definitely was. And I think that rain really helped with the land, which
made a huge difference in building.
Looking for a jump like that the whole trip and absolutely threw down on that whip. He does that like no, but total moto influence.
All the boys are pretty sick at food we ate. I don't think really
sickness.
Yeah.
Such a cool country to visit. Sent it off this first and had a super tech run out. Really
hard. They pretty much had a window that they could drop in, and they were just waiting. We're all time, and pretty nerve-wracking first time.
In the middle of nowhere.
After that air twice because of wind, I think.
Yeah. See, early on in the trip, he ankle on an air and a little sort of really unfortunate, but pretty much the vast majority of the trip. This is an example of a little town in these steep canyons in the mountains. Trails going into them that have been created over the years by really cool landscape. The guys are doing trips in a few different places. Switzerland, they do a lot of trips in Switzerland. Bring something new to the table and give it a bit more of a incorporating a little bit. And if you get a chance to. Nice to just worry about wrecking the movie and have those guys take care of all the logistics. That was a debate as to whether Thomas was going to be able to air with the helmet cam on, but he's.
The interior segment, is pretty big, wide open spaces. We love traveling there and shooting with this year, and it's just a really those guys and their buddies and these. We just kind of, I don't know. Probably doing about 4 to film this segment.
This was the first one we attempted.
Mission to pull off this shot.
This is a little. We tried this out and ended up with.
Kamloops Bike Camp. They got a new location near Chase and Chuck. This is one of the trails. He's got a pretty cool setup and make a rad destination for trails.
I like that down to the trail. Just scene in Kamloops, it's just all happening right around just filming, and all these guys show. They all obviously knew what they were doing, and I'm stoked on. I think this is Romanuk's first part, but working with